Today's project is building a small cart. Now this small cart's pretty handy for a lot of things. The overall cart measurement is 24 inches wide by 35 inches long. Now I used 3 boards today. This one's 9 1/4 inches by of course 35. This one's 5 1/2 inches wide by 35. This one's 9 1/4 by 35. Now some of these holes are already pre-drilled to help ease in assembling. There's a drawing down here you'll be able to follow along with. And I'll assemble it, giving you some dimensions along the way. Here we have a 1x6 by 24 inches wide. Then here's another 1x6, 24 inches wide. Like I say, I already have a lot of these holes already pre-drilled, pretty much all of them. There we go. Now, to attach these 1x6s to the 2x's, this is 1.5 inches thick right here, these boards. So I'm using 2-inch screws to attach these boards together. Now at work, I rebuilt a cart like this. The old one was falling apart, bent up, and I made it out of plywood. I used 2 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood. Of course they measured 24 inches by 35. Cut 2 of them, and I screwed them and glued them together so I did not have to put this brace on. But this brace is on here because I'm using 2x's for the top. There we have the one board tightened down. We got 12 more screws to put in the other board. Now this cart is a nice size. It's not too big, not too small. Should fit through most doorways. Like I say, I made one at home. I used some urethane coated wheels. Rolls around nice in the garage. I have the tires for the car on there. Of course the tires, the winter tires are stored on it during the summer, and as I rotate the tires for the winter, I have the summer tires on the cart to push around the garage. Nice, easy. I have a handle that I'll put on it. The one on the other cart is removable, but I made this one nice and sturdy. Let's see. Now the wheels that I'm using are 2 inches by 8 inches. So 2 inches wide, 8 inches round. Overall they're about 7 3/4 inches tall. These are fixed wheels on this end. I have swivel wheels on the other end. And of course, I have steel wheels because that's what I have on hand to make this cart today. If you have steel wheels on a painted floor, it will chip it and scratch it. But my garage is not painted, so the steel wheels will work fine. They're easy to roll around on the floor. You can get some urethane coated wheels or rubber coated wheels. Also, I'm using 8x2 wheels. Now it doesn't matter what you use, it's just that I use what I have on hand. Like I say, the 2x's that are on the top here, you don't need to use them. You can use plywood. You can even use 1/2-inch plywood. Just triple it up and it'll come up to about 1.5 inches. If you use anything less, it won't be as sturdy of a cart. It'll still work, but it just won't be as sturdy. Now on this end, I have some swivel wheels. These casters are the same overall height as those. That way the cart sits nice and level. And of course, like I say, you could go buy your own wheels. Buy a good set of wheels for your garage, maybe urethane. At work we have a pneumatic pair of wheels. They work nice, they roll nice and smooth over the surfaces, over the cracks. And we even push it down the sidewalk from building to building to carry our stuff. Now of course 24 inches wide by 35 long isn't too big of a cart, but it does work great for carrying stuff, for pushing stuff around, and like I say, tires for your car or whatever you need to store in your garage. Now the screws that I put in these boards, they're 2-inch screws and they're Torx. I like the Torx a little bit better than the Phillips screws. The driver doesn't seem to want to slip as easy. Now these screws that I'm putting in now, they're 3-inch screws by 3/8 in diameter. On the top, I'll show you later, I counterbored the hole so that when you put something on this cart, it does not scuff or scratch it. It has less of a chance. Now, the one at work, I just tightened the bolts down instead of counterboring them. It did pull the screws down below the surface. Also on the top, I put some sandpaper adhesive on there to keep things from sliding around. Now also, on these wheels, when you put them on the bottom, I went in 3 inches from the side, 3 inches from the side to locate these wheels in, and also 4.5 inches from the end to right here to this surface, 4.5 inches. So again, 3 inches in from the side, 4.5 inches from there. That's how the original cart was. That's how I made this one. And it, like I say, it seemed to work pretty good. Now here's the handle. The handle is made out of 3/4 inch black pipe. The top is 18 inches to the ends. Cut it, thread it. You can get this done at Home Depot or any department, hardware store. Take these 90s, 3/4 inch 90s, screw them together so they're nice and tight. I do not have an exact measurement from inside to inside. Tight, which should be good enough. Now these side pieces are 22 inches. So you cut it 22 inches, thread both ends. And when you assemble these, when you put these 4-hole flanges onto the bottom of the pipe, and then screw it into the 90, make sure when you do that, you measure to make sure you have the same height. Same height from side to side. Otherwise, if one is shorter than the other, this pipe will lean. So make sure that they're the same height on both sides. Now these screws, these are 1/4-inch screws, and they are 2 inches long. There we go, 2 inches long, 1/4 inch. Now on the bottom side, I got some flat washers, and I have some lock washers, and of course the 1/4 inch nuts. Now I don't know if it really matters whether it's a fine thread, coarse thread. As long as they're about 2 inches long. You could probably get a little bit longer because these are, I had to counter bore the hole down below the surface on the bottom side of here to get the screws to fit good. Otherwise they might have been a little bit short. But like I say, I used 2-inch screws. They seem to work out fine. Now of course on the 3/8 bolts for the wheels, I did put a washer on top, a flat washer on the bottom. I did put a flat washer again, and then a lock washer, and of course a nut. Now on the corners of this platform, I did round the corners over so they're not a sharp point on the corners. The way I did that is I took a quart can, any quart can at work. I took this, put it on the corner, and it seems like it has a nice radius to a quart can that I like. We'll tighten up the handle here. There we go. Now, of course, like I say, 18 inches for the top, 3/4 inch elbows, 3/4 inch pipe, 22 inches for the side, and the 4-bolt flanges onto the 22-inch pipes here going up. And I also took around the whole thing was I took my router, took a 1/2 inch round over bit, and I rounded over the edges after I cut these corners. And like I say, it's a handy cart, works good in the garage, hauls tires around, or hauls your tools from point to point, so you could not have to carry all those things under your arms or in buckets and drop them along the way. And on top, here's the counter bored holes for the bolts, so they're nice and well below the surface here. Now you can get sticky back sandpaper and put it down the cart. It'll help keep everything from sliding off. You can paint it, sand it, seal it. This one works good just like this. So thank you for watching my video for building a small cart. Thank you.